What else?
Instagram.
Instagram.
So the funny thing is the people that control that, rappers be talking about, I got your bitch. Instagram got your bitch. Instagram got your bitch. Like, I'm sorry, I know my Christian scorecard just went down for using a profane piece of language. You ain't got your Instagram, got all y'all, because they going to do it for the gram before they do it to you. They going to send a picture to the gram before they send it to you. Social media doing more to hurt families than it is to help families, and families are the key to health.
When we disagree with someone's opinion or view, you know, like how so many black people disagree with Kanye's view, we don't just ostracize a person, but we vilify a person as well. We totally become disrespectful and offensive. You know, it's like almost like we don't know how to disagree and just respect another person's perspective, and whatever experience that they had to go through or went through, that has reinforced that perspective. And you know, it's like we're so quick to want to invalidate another individual's experience, all because we disagree and understand. But here's the crazy thing: we lack to understand or realize that everything that, you know, we agree with or disagree with, our personal perspective has everything to do with our personal experience. You know, and I say personal experience, I mean everything that's related to our personal just walk, our journey, things that we've actually done, but also our education. You know, the things that we've studied, the things that we understand, the things that we don't understand. You know what I'm saying? All of that is associated to that. I've had people come on in the comments because they disagree with a position that I take on a matter, and they just get so disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? And see, here's why it's a problem. Because, again, one thing I've always said is that if we don't learn how to live together, then we're going to die together. If we don't learn how to basically fight together, then we're going to lose together. I mean, and that we can't get around that. And until we realize that we're in this together, whether we realize it or not, and whether we want to be or not, no matter how much money you got, no matter how little money you got, no matter where on the globe you live, we're in this thing together. Black people all over the globe, pardon me, suffer a type of suffering that's totally related to who you are. You know what I'm saying? As it has pretty much been for a very long time. So one of the reasons why we've suffered are that when you think about the slave trade and all that, one of the reasons why that was able to happen was because of the divisions that had already existed amongst us. You know, there's this scripture in the Quran that says that a people wasn't divided until knowledge reached them. And so let's make this like right now, today. Let's take that scripture and make it applicable right now. Think about someone that you've taught, whether it be your child, whether it be your mate, whether it be your friend, whether it be a new person on the job. Someone that you train, someone that you've given new information to. Some information that you've been had, whether it be about some life experience, whether it be about how to, again, work a certain position at the job. Some information you've been had, but that you're trying to pass it on. As soon as you pass this information on, as soon as the master begins to teach the begins to teach the student, and the student rises up to a certain position, how often have we seen that the student begins to think that he or she knows more than the master. He or she knows more than the teacher. He or she knows more than the parent. He or she knows more than their supervisor or something. You know what I'm saying? Then the thing is that if you really just give it some thought, you'll see the truth in that matter. And so division had already happened, and whenever a home is divided, that's when all other kinds of things can infiltrate it. That's why in a relationship, when the relationship isn't totally fulfilled, that's why there's a door that's open somewhere. You know, that's why someone can easily come in and begin to feel where there's an absence at, or where there's a void exists. You know, now all this is related because, again, I'm trying to get us to understand how this unity has always been the very thing that has caused us to suffer on such a large level. So when you think about, and when we see things happen to us, when the pain and the drama finally knock on our door, then we want to unite. We want people to come together. We want to say, stop all this, that, there, and other, stop all the fighting and the killing, and we should come together. See, once a certain level of pain reach us personally, it humble us into on a level to where now we don't want to fight and feud. You know, now we begin to see things a little clearer, and we get to see what's more important. You know what I'm saying? You see, when a lot of people in these streets having these wars on the street level, the crazy thing about it, no one wants to lose a loved one. And the thing that most of the people are worrying about isn't even worth it. Whether you win or lose, it's not even worth it on the street level. You know what I'm saying? If you're not fighting for your freedom, fighting for your freedom to, to live as a human, to be able to attain the things of this world that every creature has been given to attain, you should be able to have the freedom of reproduction, have the freedom of mating, have the freedom of educating yourself, have a freedom of raising your offsprings, and giving them everything that you have acquired. You know what I'm saying? You should have the freedom to stretch your arms out and your legs out as far as you can go in this world without trespassing onto another individual. You know what I'm saying? That's where the violation should always be at, is when we begin to trespass on another individual's liberty. If we have to have a problem with a person, it should be because a person has begun to trespass on another individual's liberty. And that's what we do on a consistent basis, where we always get so offensive and disrespectful just because a person has a view or an opinion or come from a school of thought that you don't necessarily agree with or believe in or gravitate toward. You see, I learned one time that sometimes the knowledge that you have, the information that you have, it isn't enough to apply to certain circumstances, to apply to certain conversations, to apply to certain subjects or topics. The knowledge you have isn't enough. What do I mean? What I mean is this right here. Like, if I'm not a doctor and I've never studied anything about being a doctor or how to heal people, and I ain't saying just on a European level, I'm saying period. If I have not studied extensively how to heal people, what in the hell what in the hell business I got trying to go into an area where people do this, where people have studied this for years, people giving their life to this. I go in there and start trying to use what I have to measure their knowledge by. You dig what I'm saying? You see, sometimes the knowledge you have is just not enough to measure another set of information. Sometimes you need to just sit back and humble yourself, ask questions, investigate, seek clarity. And you may learn something that you didn't learn. That you didn't know. But, and that right there, I'm saying, it's in relationships and everything else. On any social level, if people would instead of all the debaters, I used to be a debater. You know what I'm saying? But, and I still debate under some circumstances. And there's a logical reason why, which I don't have to, disclose right now because it's not the topic. But my thing is this here. I used to be a debater until I realized it's all in vain. It's really like a vain use of energy. You know what I'm saying? You don't. Why do I have to debate with you about what you believe in and where you stand, or if you agree with me or not? If you don't agree with me, it's cool and fine. But you don't have to be disrespectful. But all you gotta do is say, I don't agree with the brother. I don't agree with Kanye. I don't agree with Jerry Hassan. I don't agree with whoever and so on and so forth. You don't have to be disrespectful and start mocking. The thing about that is that is continuing and perpetuating the division that's going to continue to cause us to suffer in the way that we suffer. It's only unity. I'm going to tell you something. And I know most of you already know. But unity is the only thing that's going to get us out of our problem. So it ain't no president, ain't no government, ain't the judge. Only we can get us out of what we in. And until we start relying on each other, until we start spending with each other, until we start depending on each other and going to each other and supporting each other and fighting with it, and I'm saying fighting together against everything that tries to violate us, you know what I'm saying? Until we start doing that, we're going to continue to suffer. You know what I'm saying? We're going to continue to suffer. We're going to continue to suffer. So now, again, man, I think it's a very sick logic, a very unhealthy emotional and mental perspective or mental position when an individual can't have a healthy conversation with someone to understand where they're coming from, and even when you can't still grasp it or you just disagree, to be able to say, well, okay, I respect that's your view, and I don't really see it that way. I disagree myself, but that's where you stand. That's it's each his own. You know what I'm saying? Other people's view a lot of time it won't have nothing to do with with what you got going on. You know what I'm saying? You get what like mine, and y'all have a goal and y'all strive towards that goal. You know what I'm saying? But here the deal is, if there's a group of us over here that has a goal that's totally in opposition to your goal, again, there's this unity. You know what I'm saying? So at some point, we have to, in our unity, when we elect certain people in position to make a governing decision, for the whole group, we have to respect it enough to roll with it without getting our feeling some type of way and getting all ignorant and cussing and being disrespectful, because you got a people that's coming from violence. We come from violence. So we know violence well. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is that we're going to exercise violence on each other quick and more thoroughly than we exercise on anybody else. So we have to always be mindful of that. When we dealing with each other, that you dealing with warriors, on whatever level they on. You dealing with people that's going to get with you if you talk to them a certain way. So we have to talk to each other and sometimes admonish each other or correct each other out of love, if that's necessary. You know what I'm saying? And at some point, some people are so emotionally and mentally unhealthy that they have to be, what's the word? Like, when you trap them down, when they're away from everybody. It's like a medical term for, I can't remember, when you isolate them, you put them out somewhere. Sometimes they got to be put out somewhere until they get their head right. You know what I'm saying? You just feed them from a distance, where all your psychology and your unhealthiness can't harm the group. You know what I'm saying? That's if that individual is going to function in a group. But if an individual is not about the group, then you stay over there, brother. You stay out there. You stay over there. You know what I'm saying? While we continue to build. Because one thing about when you building and you moving forward, guess what's going to happen? They're going to want to join in sooner or later. But you can't join in unless you got a certain way of thinking. And as soon as you reveal that you got a way of thinking that goes against what we're doing, we're going to boot your ass back out. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, man, just work on that the way we disagree with each other. Stop being so disrespectful and so condescending. Stop mocking what people have. If you don't believe in religion, stop mocking it, man. If that ain't the way you unite your brothers and sisters. That ain't the way you unite them, by mocking where they stand, by mocking where they at in life. Because guess what? Everybody got something that can be mocked about them, and by somebody. You know what I'm saying? Because the person that you might be mocking may not be able to mock you, but there's somebody that's in a different position that you in that can mock you and talk about you and frown on you and be condescending with you. So being that you don't want to be handled like that, which it will happen if you keep on planting them seeds in the universe. But if you don't want to be dealt with like that, then it's best that you stop planting those seeds, because you will have to deal with the harvest of those seeds that you continue to plant in the universe. And believe that. Definitely believe that, because that is your perspective. That's what you see. I guarantee you'll notice it when it comes to you. You might try to view it as unjust, but when it get deep enough for you, the realization of it, it'll remind you of how you dealt with others. Just know that you can't plant lemon seeds and get a watermelon tree, and you can't plant a pecan seeds and get walnuts. Whatever you get in life, people be telling me, I hate when I do good with somebody because I get bad in return. Listen, you getting bad in return because you planted some bad in somewhere down the line. Or you just call it bad because that's your perspective of what you're receiving, because it's not what you wanted. But sometimes it's not even a bad thing. You just don't want to be disciplined. You don't want no discipline. That's all that is. And when you pray for patience and you pray for certain things, you don't realize that is coming to you in that prayer like that. It ain't supposed to be easy. It ain't supposed to be smooth and kosher. It ain't supposed. You can't get those blessings by just laying there and somebody just plant. You just get all this whatever you want, just plant it in you, and you don't have to do no work. Nah, everything that's worth something of value, you got to work for it. Period. Anyway, peace and blessings to y'all, man.